there's one thing that's been bugging me as a question, and it's mainly thinking about whether we discover music or whether we're recommended it. And I'm thinking recently it's the second one. The thing about music is that we've really improved in terms of finding people. We have Spotify, we have, Apple Music, we have YouTube. The algorithm really pushes us towards these songs. And we are able to be recommended things that we like. It's like a tree branch. It starts with what we like, and then it goes on to other similar artists, which is great. TikTok, Spotify, those all do it. But the thing that gets me is that there was a time years ago where that wasn't how music worked. And that's where we get into music discovery. I remember that years ago, I would walk into Starbucks and get a vanilla bean frappuccino. I didn't drink coffee at the time. And I'll have my little Samsung Galaxy S3. I was vibing, and I would see these little cards on the counter and said, pick of the week. And the pick of the week typically was a song that was actually curated by humans. I actually found multiple artists from that. Churches, San Fermin, and I really enjoyed the music. And the thing is, I wouldn't have found Churches or San Fermin otherwise. And it made me realize that music curation is actually something that is deeper than just Starbucks. The thing about Starbucks is music and coffee shops go hand in hand. And at the time, they had bought Hear Music, which was mainly starting out as CDs, and then it went into an iTunes collaboration around 2008, where they would have a free song for download that you could go and find. They also had online, like Google Play version, where you could join the Wi-Fi and see songs. And a lot of times I would get the pick of the week and get it onto my Galaxy. And the thing about that is that it exposed me to so many artists that I wouldn't have heard about. Now, the program ended in 2015 and went into Spotify playlists, but it begs the question of how I actually found music, and it really changed how I curate my sound. Especially as a musician, I like to hear influences from everywhere, whether that's from different parts of the world, whether that's shoegaze, indie, rap, hip hop, trip hop. I don't care about the genre, I care about the sound. And being exposed to something like that made me realize that I could find music from anywhere. I could find it from magazine articles, from editorial picks, from Pandora, from the radio, from my parents, from my grandpa. There were so many different places to find it and hear it. And I feel like now that we've moved on, we're more so moving into a recommendation. And it creates this thing where it's really cool because you find artists that you wouldn't have found otherwise. And we're moving into a world of subculture where everything is niched down. It's shoegaze, pop rock, hyper pop, indie electronica, which really started around the Tumblr era, but that's a video for another day. The main thing is subcultures are prevalent, and being able to find people in those subcultures are really beneficial to the artist and to the people who like that certain genre. But for the people who like different genres, sometimes the algorithm can be a little funky. I notice it with myself. If I'm jumping from, J-rock to Armenian pop to Tyler the Creator to, then it has a harder time figuring out what I would actually like. And that's the thing that I really am interested in. How do I continue to find that music out in the world? And it takes very deliberate steps to do so, but it can still happen. I'm a proponent of YouTube music. YouTube music is always different for me because it kind of works differently than Spotify, where you have DJ X or all these recommendations, and I can find music that isn't necessarily on the playlist or the editorials. The thing that gets me is that I think that we should continue to find channels where we can really find different types of music. I think that's important. Editing and popping in to say there are channels like Majestic Casual and Monster Cat and whatnot that was also showing music at the time. So that was a major curation point as well, especially stuff like Steezy and Ikigai and all of that stuff, which we can still look at now. And so one of the things that I want to kind of ask about and think about what you think is whether or not you can find music in different ways. And if you do, I want to know, Do you prefer to be recommended music, or do you prefer the discovery of it? Because for me, there's nothing like walking into a record store and finding something, going through my grandfather's old things and finding something, NPR, out in the world. That human connection of curation, especially in a world of AI and a lot more, digital integration, it just feels more human. Starbucks pick of the week was the start, but from then on, I knew from that to being college DJ to being a musician my whole life to all of those things, that music would be a part of my life in a different way. And I don't want it to always involve a computer. But that's just me. Ironic because I make music on a computer, but that's also for another day. No matter what it is, I think I prefer to discover music. And I want to show you all that music as well. I will see you later. Bye bye.